Good evening time, everybody. We are back in the shop again. Uh, it has been a crazy week or so here. Not been able to get a whole lot of anything really accomplished out here. I did get the yard kind of back into shape, so I mean that's been a feat in itself, especially with all the hours and everything. But anyways, got a couple different amplifiers. This one's a little 2292 pill, and it had some glitches with it. Went ahead and fixed what I visually seen, but it's still got a problem with it. So, um, figured we go through and I'd show what we've taken out and what we've replaced, and show you what else we have found as well with this, because we're gonna have to dig a little deeper into it as far as with the issue on hand. So, anyways, I'll start with what I've replaced, anyways. So let's get this over here. All right. So what we've replaced so far has been the variable, because the variable had it's got a very bad spot in it. And you can feel that it just about won't even get off of it once it hits that little spot. So the variable was bad. We went ahead and replaced that. I have no idea why this was on there going to ground. Little quarter watt. I don't even see how it isn't blowed, to be honest with you. But anyways, pulled this out. We've got that replaced. Replaced a small little disc capacitor because of the way the biasing is set up, which is on the input. That way we know we don't have any issues with the DC voltage going back into the radio itself because of the design of the biasing. So we replaced that. Went ahead and pulled out the non-Teflon wire, and it probably would have been okay. There's 3 different pieces in there that we replaced. Pulled those out, one of which I was able to actually do completely away with whenever I replaced the capacitor. So we did that. The capacitor on the biasing was bad. It's pooched out here on the end, and the back end actually is blowed a little bit. You can see here, or that's popped loose as well. 16 volt caps are not good practice by no means. Good evening, Wild Bill, Budman, Warren, Mr. Carlock. Good evening. So, like I said, not had a chance to really get out here a whole lot. But I tried keying it up, and that's whenever I did a little bit more investigating, because the rest of the circuit actually functions, but I know we've got a dead pill. So this is an old, very old Toshiba box. So anyhow, so we got that stuff taken out, got that stuff replaced. And it's been a long time on a 2290 box, especially in the Toshiba days, whenever I have seen this blow a transistor. So let me get some of the stuff out of the way. But normally your 10 ohms on the 2879s back in the Toshiba days, the 2879s, usually those would go ahead and just flat out smoke. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. They just flat out smoke. So let's pull these out. Wish this had a disconnect on the fan. Let's see if just unsolder that here. Usually for the fan, I usually don't use anything quite this massive for a choke. It doesn't want to solder. I know I'm going to have to change out the tip on this soldering iron too. Add a little fresh solder. Get that out of our way. shut that off and get a bigger tip put in there real quick, because we're going to need that so we can unsolder the transistors. But now that I've got enough stuff just about out of the way anyways, I'll get this turned around. We'll show you here. But it's actually got a 10 ohm that is burned a little bit. So at a quick glance, you don't notice it. But when you really get up closer to it, you can actually see that it is burned. Alrighty. I think that's just dirt on the feedback. Yeah, that's just dirt. So let's get this turned around. But yeah, these tan ones are a little bit different. Most everybody uses the blue anymore because the blues are 1% versus the old 5% that a lot of the stuff was built with back in the day. Get this one to let go. Okay. But I'm sure we're going to find that this one is the actual bad transistor. Like I said, because there is some discoloration on the 10 ohm. So let's try to get that moved out. I know we're going to replace both 10 ohms. Usually if there's a bad one on one side, I usually like to replace them both. But just a little bit of browning right here. So I'd say that's what's happened, is this one's let go. Could be wrong, could be the other one. But we're going to have to pull them both out and find out. So I'm just going to go ahead and pull the other 10 ohm while I'm at it. Nothing big like what Chad's working on over there at Donkey Stompers, but nevertheless, it's still something that needs to be repaired. You got the I-24 blues. Yeah, good driver, but like I said, I think we had a pill drop. I'm pretty sure it's this one, mainly because of the fact that the 10 ohm is darkened. It's not burnt like the 28, the old Toshiba days of the 2879s, but pretty sure this one's going to be bad. The customer did send me a bag of goodies, and I was looking in there. There is a used 2290, so the other ones I think are all 2879s. Oh, there's another 2290. Okay, so we'll go through and see what we've got between all the transistors and see if we can't get him back up and going here. Yeah, the old Toshiba days. With the exception of something small like this, I just about don't even like working on anything that's Toshiba anymore. A lot of it's the fact that I don't want to go through the painstaking aggravation of trying to find and locate transistors, and then you're having to try to match up old transistors with new transistors or other used transistors. I mean, it's actually now became to the point where it's more of a headache to work on a Toshiba box. unlike it was back 10 years ago. So it's kind of a sad thing, but time does march forward. Yeah, that's kind of where we're at, Chad. I mean, and I don't have any as far as that goes. I think I've got 2 used ones in an old amplifier I built myself somewhere about 15 years ago, and I don't even use the amplifier anymore because it's one of the first ones that I had ever built completely and totally from spare parts. Some of this sludge off of these. But yeah, I think this thing has been fixed several different times the way it looks over its lifetime. I think whoever originally owned this before the gentleman that owns it now, I think before he wound up with it, I think in its previous life, I think somebody thought that it was 2879, so they drove it like a 2879 box. I think that's where most of the problem is with this poor thing. But yeah, it's been years since I've had one of these come in. The old DX Engineering. I'm going to go ahead and pull both transistors because I don't want to risk putting a working transistor next to another one that's bad. I've seen where that causes problems too. Man, my air conditioner kicked off about 5 minutes before I started this video, and it's already getting kind of warm in here. All right, before I pull the other one, I've just got to know if my guesstimate was right. Yep, diode junction. Yep. So definitely bad. Put that over in the fun pile. Yeah, the HG 2290s are, but since he sent me the spare parts, I figure that he is wanting to stay with the Toshibas on it since he's got them. Now you can stay in the AC. That's good. Well, Chad, that's the reason why I do a lot of live feeds, is because it takes forever. That and uh, uh, the software editing stuff that I have on this computer, for some reason, I've had it on here now for 3 years and I have yet to have been able to use it. It has been completely and utterly worthless. I don't know why it doesn't want to work right. It's very hard to use. I'm actually thinking of just deleting it and getting it completely off of there. But yeah, I enjoy being able to spend time with you guys too. I like doing the videos as well. Not just the live feeds. Because there's some times where the video itself, it's almost better to do the video because you can edit it when you have editing software that functions. But I am not a computer guru by no means. I can take just about anything apart and fix it and put it back together, but I've just never done good with software. That little white wire is one of them that I changed out too, that wasn't Teflon. I'm not saying it has to be, but it's best if it is, and since it had a burnt spot in it, yeah, I'm gonna change it. Probably should have emptied this before I started. Yeah. Never think about it until it's too late. There we go. You had a gentleman comment on one of my videos here the other day or today, and I sadly, look at that big old chunk of solder. Sadly, I can't reply because I don't speak enough Spanish. There we go. Now the old girl will suck again. Good evening, squirrel. Okay. Well, let's put this thing back together and see if we can't get the rest of the goopy solder out of there. Sounds like my AC's kicked back on here in the shop. That's a good deal. Those pills sit down in there super tight. Jeez, Pete's. The Toshibas are fitting in there that tight. Imagine what the HGs would be like. Let's see. He can hit that pop-up. Yes, I am cheating. Using a solder sucker. Now, you remember the days of working on radios. Yeah. I got introduced to one of those about 20 years ago. And it was like, oh my God, I got to have one. Well, back then they were like $1,500. And I couldn't even imagine to buy one. And I bought one of the little cheapy Radio Shack ones back when Radio Shack had them. And, you know, it was still the bee's knees. All right. That's showing an HFE of 8. It's not showing any leakage. Okay, so it's still technically good. So we got here in his goodie bag. $28.79, $22.90. Yeah, I'm guessing these are just pulls that he's pulled out of old amplifiers or something. $28.79, $28.79, $22.90, and $28.79. And these things are looking rough. Set those off to the side. Okay, so the bad one's over there. Let's go through and see what we've got on these three. See if we can't match him up. Two that are somewhat close together. Okay, 7. Six. And this one's bad. Okay. But where those are down to like 6, 7 on the HFE. Which I do happen to have. Some 2290 HGs. I'm gonna check these. I know what HG puts on them because they've got 69 wrote on these 2290s. I haven't used any in a long time. These are still with the gold writing. That's how long I've had these on hand. 49. So, yeah, huge difference. Huge difference on the HFE. I couldn't remember. Well, looks like I've only got one set of the gold ones. The rest of them are the newer versions with the black again. So, but anyhow, I need to get with the customer real quick and find out if he just wants these dropped back in place, because I don't know what his intentions are. I don't know if he's looking to just try to sell this or if he's wanting to.
Don't forget to take out your trash cans.
Yeah, I've already done that. So, I need to find out from him which way he wants to go. Hello, fat cat. Yeah, I don't know where 3 is. Let's see if I can find him in my contacts. Okay, so I don't have him listed in there that way. Dun, 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 dun. You just give him a call.
Your call has been forwarded to an automated voice messaging system. 8.
Okay, I'll send him a message then. See if he answers me this way. All right. Well, let's see if he answers me here real quick. I know what my choice would be, which is to put the HGs in, but yeah, I'm just real concerned. You can probably tell him that I'm live here. Yeah, 3 might be taking a nap, but there again, you don't know. But yeah, I hate to put those in there with those being down there. Like I said, at 6, somewhere between 6 and 8. Because I mean, each time you take a reading, they're going to change. They're going to change as much as at least 1 or 2. So. That's somebody I haven't heard a text from in forever. Well, that's all up to Wild Turkey as far as on what he decides he wants to do with it. Like I said, I hate to, with those being down that low. Like I said, I was thinking that the even the new Toshibas back in the day, typically ran around 60 on the HFE for the 2290s, and with those being down that low, I mean, I think it'd be kind of pointless. But I don't know if he's, like I said, if he's just wanting to just fix the amp and then put it back up for sale. I don't know what his intentions with this one's is. So let's go ahead and clean up everything. Hopefully he'll send me a message back here fairly quick. Get some of this duck poop out of it. Get some cotton swabs here and we'll swab those out. Speaking of which, I need to refill my Trafer in here. There it is. Well, Gary, if you're interested in a good little 2-pill, I have a brand new one ready to go. This one has the MRF 454s in it, but it's ready to be shipped anytime. It does have a little variable on the front, just AM. That would not surprise me. If anybody out there could figure a way to solder their fingers together, it would be 3Made. Yeah, I ought to send him a text message to see what he's up to. Crud out of here. Tell him what all I'm going to break loose. towel here. I'm going to get the slivers and whatever else is floating around in there back out. But yeah, I hadn't been out here for a while, so like I said, I thought I would try to do a video and get you guys in here. But you know, I haven't forgot about you. I said, I know that this is not as exciting as, like I said, watching a 64 pill being built. Of course, right now I know, Chad's in that, oh my God stage, because you got to repeat this little circuit here 32 times. But I actually enjoy building stuff like that. It's just I hate tuning stuff that big. Mainly because of where I'm located at. I have a hard time running anything that big around here without causing issues. Yeah, I know. Let's see. I don't need that notification. Okay, so yeah, speaking of which, I do have a big Jennings air variable that will work out well for something like that. It's only an 8 pill and getting a biased 4 or 6 pill. Yeah, that little chicken bone, that is part of the biasing. What it is, and I don't know why they don't just use a one choke, because they put two of them that are 10 unihenries together to come up with 20 unihenries here. And I'd say it probably has to do with the reason why they probably did that originally was because those were cheap at the time. Usually what I do is I'll just put one choke here as far as for the biasing DC voltage. And then I'll put another one further on down the line, kind of like what they've done here. So, but I just use one choke instead of putting two of them end to end, for that purpose. So, I mean, it still works. It's just, that's the way they built it. So, all right. Well, I've got that part of it out, and sadly, I haven't heard back yet, which I know where he lives at. Sometimes he's got really good signal if he's in the right spot. And then again, sometimes he just turns his phone off. So maybe tomorrow before I actually hear from him. So with that being the case, I am going to go ahead and set this one off to the side. I've got another one for him that has kind of the same problem in the fact that the variable's bad, and he knows the variable's bad, but he's decided to have me rework the amplifier. And by the way, Gary, as far as biasing, I can do that. That's not a problem. If you've got an amplifier that you want biased, we can put biasing in there for you. But yeah, I'll set this off to the side for the moment. I'm gonna grab the other one and at least get it opened up. Of course, there's not going to be much to opening it up just because he already took the screws out because he kind of wanted to see what was going on himself. But he knows that the variable is out, and I don't know if he just hooked up, radio that was too big and forgot about it, which I know that happens quite often. But I fixed this for him back in December of 21, and the variables burn up. We know that for a fact, so I've got to replace that. He wants me to change this from a 1-pill though and make this into a 2-pill. So I know he's got 2 or 3, well, it looks like 4 in there, I think is what it was, Toshiba's. So I'll come up with a combination for that. Hey, there we go. Cool. Fix it, cost says on the factor. Thank you. Okay. I will put 2 brand new transistors in it. Cool. So that means we can set this project off to the side and drop him 2 new transistors in the other. Yeah, I knew it wasn't a cost factor for him, but I know some people are just hell-bent on the Toshibas. Cool. That makes it awesome. Yeah. Like I said, it's not usually a cost factor as it is, some people just love the Toshibas. I know as a builder, I like the Toshibas, but where they haven't been made for so many years, and now it's been increasingly hard to find good transistors to match up with anything else, and what all you have to do to pull everything apart, and now trying to match used transistors with used transistors that's been pulled from 2 or 3 different builds, and it becomes a headache. And I know we got a couple of builders in there, and I don't know what their thoughts are on that, but I'm to the point now where I really could care less about working on a Toshiba box anymore, mainly because of the headaches. Come on, drop down in there. Yeah, these holes are tight. Yeah, we're going to have to go to the next stage because I'm not going to fight that. Not gonna fight it, guys. If I can get it untangled. Yeah, I keep putting all these cords up and then I keep hanging them back up over here because I use them and then I think, well, I'm going to use it again here real quick, and I don't, so then I get all entangled and everything else. Just means a little more cleaning. Yeah, I kind of switched over and I bought one of those the other day. That's the plug in the wall, mainly because of the fact that it's a lot lighter than the battery operated one. Let me get another Q-tip here and we'll get crud out of that and see if dry fit one. Since I already got moose juice on the other ones, we'll just use a new one that doesn't have anything on it. Test fit. Well, hello, Three Maid. See, you popped in there for us. Yeah, at least I can get those in and out now. I think everybody's dies are just a little different whenever they stamp those out, but I think what I've been noticing the last few times that I've ordered, I think that they did open up those holes a little bit for us on the others, because I haven't had to whittle those holes out in a long time. Some brand new screws and put those in there too. It's probably one of the best things that I did though was actually take Three Maid's advice, and I got me a little 2-gallon air compressor that sits up in the attic, and I've got a hose comes down. That's so much better than using the compressed air and the rechargeable little air deal that I've got. That is just so much better. I used to have 15 years ago, I used to actually have a airline that ran from the garage all the way into here, but over the years the line got damaged that I had buried in the yard to come in here, and then now where I've got everything ran, it's not real practical for me to run the air compressor out in the garage all the way into here. But I did that originally because I didn't want to hear that big old noisy thing run, which I was over at Three's here a few years ago, and he's got his sitting right outside the door. So yeah, he doesn't have to listen to that thing make all that racket in his head. All right. Small Craftsman blower. Well, yeah, I know that Three, but still, it's the aggravation of it. It's one of the things that I'm kind of glad I did wind up putting in. I traded for the used one that I've got up in the attic now, so. Yeah, the best part about it is there's not much that will need to change other than probably the input tune just a little bit. All the other factors are good that's in the cabinet here. But like Chad said, there's very, very little change on the 2290s. The only reason why I even keep the 2290s on hand is, they do make great little drivers and stuff like that. What starts at 830? Oh, Bernie's tooth out, yeah. Yeah, I know he's been having a heck of a time with that, guys. Alrighty. So we'll get the feedbacks in tomorrow because it is that time for me to head that direction. So, guys, I would love to stay out here and finish this with you guys. Unfortunately, I do have a night job that I've got to go to. So, with that, we'll get out of here and we will see you guys on the next live feed. We'll get this up and going hopefully tomorrow, and then get this get a video on this as far as for the final video on getting this finished up. But I want to get this done, and then we'll go from there as far as on the rest of it. But I do have another piece that's coming up. I may put the 2-pill, the 1 pill that's going to be turned into a 2-pill. I'll probably put that into a different point, because I do have a watt meter that I need to get shipped back to a guy as well. And I think I may go ahead and do a live feed on it as far as on installing a peak kit in a Bird 43. So, all right, guys, take care. I appreciate you, every one of you. If you are new to the channel, please hit the like and subscribe, and we will catch you on the next live feed. Take care, everybody. God bless.